Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final race of the season here for the Touring Car Championship here at Motive Racing. The championship has just been wrapped up in the favour of John Boy, who is now a four-time champion of the Touring Car division. So I want to say, once again, a massive congratulations to him for his championships, for scoring championships over the course of 3 years. Won his first championship here at Motive back in December 2020. Won his second in June of 2021, and then he's won two more in 2023. So yeah, fantastic job from John Boy. And the battle for second in the championship does continue to rage on. There is currently 18 points separating Cobb and Jay. Cobb moving ahead of Jay after Jay not having a very good race at all in that second race of the night. So Cobb out with an 18-point lead after taking the win in that second race. And Cobb only needs P9 in this final race of the night to guarantee him second in the championship. So that's what's currently at stake here for this final race. But just to reiterate, John Boy has now won the championship, and it is now all over in terms of top honours here. So yeah, massive congratulations to him, as I've already mentioned. But yeah, still plenty on the line here tonight. Obviously, this is now race 42 of 42. This is all for all the marbles here. For the touring cars here at Motive for season 15 on Project Cars 2. It's been a long season, but the touring cars have been absolutely fantastic. It's been a pleasure to be able to commentate on them every week. There's always some of the closest racing, and obviously the touring cars will be back on Project Cars 2 for next season. But Tuesday nights will be abandoning PC2, at least for now. We'll be on Gran Turismo 7 in the Audi TT 2016 cars. We'll be in for the Tuesday nights. Sunday nights will be obviously on GT3 ACC as always. F1 will be on Friday night, and I'm trying to set up a multi-class on ACC to run on Wednesdays, but whether or not we'll get the numbers, we'll have to see. But that's the aim anyway. That's my hope, is that we'll be able to do that. But yeah, it should be exciting. Should be plenty to get involved with, and plenty for people to enjoy. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully you all are too. But this is it then, final practice session of the season. As we're now public on the stream, we should be able to see everything now. So that is now the stream shared on Discord. Right, let's plug the HDMI cable in and let's actually see what we're talking about here. But yeah, for those of you who are just joining us, obviously we've just gone live. It's John Boy, who is now a four-time champion of the touring car division here at Motive Racing, having finished in second place in that second race of the night. He followed home Cobb, who now sits in second in the standings. He's now 18 points clear of Jay, who's in third, and Cobb looking very likely that it's going to be hit, P2. It's going to be his in the championship. But John Boy once again showing he is, over the seasons he's been the most consistent. He's been the class of this touring car field, as shown in many different formats over the seasons. Obviously he won the first two of his championship with our original format, the sprint and feature with a pit stop. He came tantalisingly close to winning the championship in a Mercedes as well. Came second in the championship driving a Mercedes back when in the season when X-Mart won the championship. You know, he could have been a 5, he could have been a 6-time champion. He also took Jay to a title decider when Jay won his championship. He's also been second to Mike on a couple of occasions as well. So, you know, he could have been a 7 or an 8-time champion in the touring cars. He's always been there. He's always been near the top, but he has officially sealed his 4th crown here tonight. Jay coming over the line. Can he improve on his second? Oh, he's got within 4 thousandths of John Boy there in this practice session, so it's pretty tight here. Can John Boy respond to that and shatter Jay's confidence a little bit? Here he comes up towards the line, and he can't, no. Oh, in fact he does, slightly. Yeah, moves a little bit further up, and he's now nearly 800ths of a second quicker than Jay at the top of the leaderboard. I think everybody else is done. Revolt Details just coming through the final corner. What can he put on the board here? Currently on a 35.5, so he's 1.8 seconds off of the fastest time. Comes over and improves to a 34.9. Nice lap there from Leo. Pop the brown up towards the line. Big Blue's done for the session. Pop the brown up with the last driver over the line. P8. Oh, in fact, no, he's not the last driver because Cobb's done. So that is that then for the practice for the final race of the season, and it is John Boy who sets the fastest time ahead of Jay with Team MW and Craig, your fastest 4. So here we are then for the final race of the season, quite aptly with the sun going down as the sun is setting here on a fantastic season here on Project Cars 2 and for the touring cars. And once again, a big congratulations to John Boy on wrapping it up with one race left in the season, obviously that being this one right here. A few minutes ago he was officially crowned a 4-time champion of the touring car division, but lots at stake here. Cobb and Jay batting over second place in the championship. It's going to be fascinating to see if Jay can pull out some sort of miracle here, but he needs Cobb to have a bit of a mare. Cobb only needs 9th place here in his final race of the season to essentially seal the deal. But Jay will be starting near the front here because he was down near the back. I think he might have even finished in last place or near last place in that second race. I know he wasn't particularly high up, so he could have a big chance to win this race. And Cobb starting at the back, obviously having won that middle race. There is a chance for something to happen here, albeit it's a slim one, but there is a chance for something untoward to occur here. So Cobb needs to keep himself out of trouble and negotiate the traffic calmly here once this formation lap's done and we're underway, if he wants to get this P2 in the championship. And that would be big for Cobb because been a lot of times where he's had to settle for 3rd in championships. I mean, with the likes of John Boy and Mike battling for a lot of the championships, even during Jay's spell where Jay wasn't really on it, you know, until he's sort of like, this has sort of been his comeback season in a sense. There were a few seasons where Jay just wasn't really quite the driver that we had become used to seeing, and during that time John Boy and Mike generally occupied those top 2 spots, and then we saw obviously Cobb trying to break into that fold. So I think 2nd in the championship would be a big achievement for him. He's a multiple race winner, is Cobb. Out of the 41 races we've had this season, he's taken wins in 7 of them, which is no mean feat at all. Jay's taken 5 wins this season. John Boy, I think, has taken more wins than anybody this season. I'll get that stat up now, so I can actually. There's quite some cool little stats here that I've got available to me on the drivers' table here. So yeah, John Boy's taken. He's taken. Oh wow, you're not going to believe this. John Boy's only taken. I say only taken. He's only taken 6 wins this season, so his consistency's been absolutely phenomenal. One driver who probably won't surprise you has taken quite a few wins is Mike. Mike's taken 7 wins himself. Another driver who's taken a few wins is Ozzy Albies, taken 3 wins. Team MW's taken a win. In fact, he's taken 2 wins actually this season as Team MW. Parp Hooper's taken 1 win as well. Big Blue's a driver who has popped up with a couple of wins. In fact, he's taken 4 wins this season as well. So yeah, lots of drivers have picked up wins over the course of this one, over the course of 41 races. Grandad Stee took a win earlier in the season when he raced as a reserve. He's a driver who we have not seen anything of this season, but he did manage to nick one of them earlier on in the season. But here we go then, guys, underway for the final time this season here at Donington Park, and this is it then. We've got Mike saying hello, hello. We've got Gary there saying John Boy leading the time. Something's never change as we come into turn 1. Yep, John Boy's just wrapped up his 4th championship here, Gary, a few moments ago. May have to be a guest at a few races and give him a good run for his money in the BMW. Definitely next season, mate, 100%. But we can see here currently Parp Hooper and Mike dicing it out through the Craner curves here for the first time. And there's not a BMW in the grid, is there? Not tonight, no. Mike was in the BMW in the first part of the season, but since then switched up to the Astra because he's only a reserve, so he can change cars, no dramas. But nonetheless, Mike challenging on the back of Park Pooper as they come up the hill, as he's looking to try and get this move done if he can, but Park Pooper just clinging on for the time being. It's good defending there from Park Pooper here on this opening lap of the race. Doris Steer ahead of Jay, with Aussie there currently running in P5. Team MW ahead of R42. They've got Big Blue with Craig, Potter Brown, John Boy and Cobb still running at the back of the pack. He just needs to keep calm in this final race of the night if he wants to bring it home for second in the championship. Just needs to pick up the traffic. The opportunities will come. Drivers will be making mistakes and will be dropping off of the track left, right and centre, as they have been all night, as Jay there squeezing through ahead of Doris Steer. Beautifully done there from him. Saw his opportunity there. Doris just made a small mistake there going through the foggy S's, and now Jay up into third place as Mike there running it, still in the lead of the race. Bit of luck up there from Mike as he comes through Melbourne, but Park Pooper there not getting a good run either, and Doris Steer looking to try and get a cut back here on Jay, actually coming out of Melbourne. Down towards the final corner we go. Jay has that one covered off for the time being though as they go through the corner, but Mike out the front leading the race and trying to break away now, so he's got a big opportunity here to get in the clear here in that Astra. He hasn't got a win in the Astra so far since he changed car this season. He was much quicker in the BMW, but trying to challenge himself, trying to do drive a car that he's not fully comfortable with, and you've got to give it to him for that. That's you've got to always give praise to somebody when they make their life a little bit more difficult than perhaps it could be. As Team MW currently all over the back of Aussie Albie here as they come into the old hairpin. Could see in the foreground there, that was the race leader Mike getting all onto the grass there. Oh, and Team MW disconnected just as we were on board with him, and that was an unbelievable shot there. Did you see that? It looked like we were watching on board an aircraft there. That was incredible. But Team MW disconnecting whilst we were on board with him. Oh my. That's a bit of a turn up. I've never seen that. That's probably one of the most shocking things I've seen in the spectator mode here on Project Cars since Fury took off and headed for the ISS in the LMP2s at Spa. I'm sure the stream is still out there somewhere for that one, but that was, I'd say it doesn't quite eclipse that, but it's nowhere near the hilariousness of that. But nonetheless, we see them all coming through Melbourne hairpin once again, and Mike has got the clear lead here of a second and a half as Jay's putting more pressure here on Park Pooper here, going into the final corner, looking down the inside here is Jay, obviously gunning for second in the championship. His rival for that position is currently running in P10, so Cobb is only one position off of where he needs to be. In fact, he's dropped behind John Boy here, so Cobb batting it out with John Boy, and these guys running very close here. John Boy got at the inside for turn 1, and these two side by side here. John Boy moving back through up into P10 here, so Cobb currently in a position where if Jay can hunt down Mike and win, then Cobb will have to set off a third in the championship. It's still all to play for here. But Jay would also realistically need the fastest now. Oh, somebody's binned it in front of them here. That could make Cobb's life a little bit more easy here. Oh no, Aussie! Oh, Aussie's lost it! And there's contact there. John Boy involved in that one. Cobb is off! Cobb is off onto the gravel! Oh, you couldn't make this up! Aussie there waiting for Cobb to get going again, but Cobb is 3 seconds behind everybody else now. Oh my goodness me. That has set him back quite a bit here. Has he got damage on the car as well? Jay will probably be hearing all the commotion on the game chat here and will be sensing his opportunity here. This could be a chance now for him to maybe get second in the championship if he can hunt down Mike in that Astra, where Mike is not the driver that we all know and love in that Astra. Not yet anyway. He hasn't honed it to perfection yet, but this is a huge turn up here with Cobb currently 4 seconds off of a position that he would need to take second in the championship. If Jay can hunt down Mike and get ahead of him and get the fastest lap, then who knows where this could all lead us. But at the moment, it's up in the air. This battle for second in the championship. Currently, the battle for the championship is done. John Boy has sealed his 4th championship earlier on tonight. But yeah, this is exciting stuff here. Mike and Jay still battling over the lead, under a second between them at the moment. There's Doris 2 in the background, ahead of Park Pooper, who's pretty close to the back of him at the moment. You've got Revolti there running in P5. Not too far ahead of Craig at the moment. There's Big Blue, Potter Brown. John Boy is on the back of this train at the moment. And a big gap back to Cobb running in P10. And he has, I think, got a bit of damage on the front of the car. Not much, but something that will be maybe affecting him a little bit at this point. But he is charging after those guys who we see up ahead of him here. So still not over by any means at the moment for Cobb, as Aussie Albie has retired from the session. So now we have only got 10 cars left in this race. as Jay now attacking on the back of Mike here for the race lead. Absolute drama we've seen in the first couple of laps here of this final race of the night, and we've probably got around 5 laps left in this season, 4 or 5 laps left in this season, as that's Revolt Detail. They're getting it out of shape, coming out into the back straight. That would have just lost him a bit of time here to the guys who are behind him. He's now got Craig, Big Blue, Pot the Brown, John Boy right there with him as well. But Mike's still out the front, leading the race ahead of Jay, coming into Melbourne here for the 5th time in this final race of the season. There's Revolt Detail trying to defend from Craig. Craig looking to the outside here into Melbourne. In the background you've got Big Blue, who's got Pot the Brown looking down his inside. Pot the Brown there goes clattering into him on the brakes there. Big Blue managing to keep it there, keep the momentum despite Pot the Brown absolutely steaming into him, as now John Boy looks up the inside of Pot the Brown here into the final corner. Is this going to be job done for John Boy? Pot the Brown goes very late on the brakes, but does he get it stopped? Does he get it turned into the apex? John Boy managing to squeeze ahead of him on the exit of the final corner, but Pot the Brown still there, still manages to keep himself around the outside. They'll be side by side all the way down the start finish straight here. Pot the Brown should have 8th place back here, and I tell you what, these two battling is allowing Cobb to close the gap to them in P10, but they're still side by side. John Boy trying to go around the outside of Pot the Brown through the red gates. He manages to get that one done and makes it stick, and John Boy up into 8th place. Nicely done there from him, but these guys have now got Cobb only 3.5 seconds behind them in P10. So with those two battling, Cobb being thrown a bit of a lifeline here in his pursuit of 2nd in the championship, as Jay now attacking on the back of Mike. This is for the race lead here. This could be what Jay needs in this battle for P2 in the championship. Here he comes up the hill towards Coppice. They're side by side, bit of bumping there between the two of them, as Jay trying to force his way through. Mike trying to hold it all the way around the outside there, managing to just keep the grip and keep some momentum there. Incredible racing there from Mike in the Astra. Real confidence, showing that he's got the balls to hang with that thing as we come down towards the Foggy S's once again, and Mike maintaining the lead there ahead of Jay by the skin of his teeth. Doris still running in P3 ahead of Park Pooper. There's Revolt Detailer Craig, Big Blue, John Boy, and Pot the Brown on the back of that train of cars. 4 seconds further back to this man Cobb, who could potentially be seeing his pursuit of 2nd in the championship slipping away here, with Jay currently trying to get something done here with Mike, but at the moment can't seem to do it, which could at least then be helping Cobb out a little bit here. But out of the final corner we come once again. Jay pushing all he can here for the lead of the race, but Mike's been proving a stern test here for Jay out the front as they come into red gates once again. Doris and Pop are battling out over the podium places, and you've got a big train of cars here battling. Now this is what Cobb would want to see. Oh, it's this contact going into turn 1. Revolt Detailer there getting onto the grass as he just gets contact over Big Blue. Big Blue's wide there on the exit of red gates there, taking some of the advertising hoardings, taking some of the braking markers with him there, should I say. Big Blue now pushed out wide there a little bit. There's a bit of carnage going on right here as Revolt Detailer being a bit aggressive there, and Big Blue there getting pushed out as well, but yeah, Big Blue there losing out to John Boy. And that's a bit of chaos there. Big Blue now only 1.5 seconds ahead of Cobb, and Cobb being thrown lifeline after lifeline here in the closing stages of this final race of the season. So he's now only got 1.5 seconds to Big Blue, who's running in 9th place here in this race. In the meantime, Jay still can't get ahead of Mike as well, which is obviously going to help him massively. Well, it's going to help Cobb massively. But into the Foggy S's we go once again. Also, I think we're going to have 3 more laps after this, because we're going to cross the line, I think, before we get to 3 minutes 10 on the clock. So we're going to have 3 more laps here in this race, which gives Cobb a bit more time to get onto these guys if he can. And Jay's still struggling to negotiate the race leader at the moment. There's Storist running in P3 ahead of Park Pooper, with Craig a little way behind them in P5. There's Pot the Brown with Revolt Detailer pressuring him. And John Boy's still right there with these guys at the moment as well. Big Blue only 1 second ahead of Cobb now as they go into that final corner. 3 laps left to go here in this touring car season here at Motive Racing for season 15 here on Project Cars 2. Here is the man who currently sits P2 in the standings, but if the race were to end right now, they would be, I think... Oh, Jay's made the move. Jay's taking the lead, but can he hold it here into the old head? He's on the inside there as Mike trying to close the gap, but he can't do it. And Jay squeezes his way through up into the lead of the race. Jay hits the front here. Finally, he's managed to make that move stick. It's been a long time coming, but Mike here trying to fight back as they come up the hill into the middle sector of the lap. Jay's finally made it happen. He goes a little bit deep there, going through that right-hander, and Mike back underneath him here, side by side. Mike squeezed back ahead here, coming up towards Coppice. This is incredibly close racing here between them. Mike hits the front once once again, but he goes a little bit wide. Is that going to give Jay a run here down towards the Foggy S's? Here we come down the back straight. He's looking for a move. He's looking to the outside now. The straight line speed of the McGann is going to be surely favouring him a little bit here as Mike trying to defend the inside coming into the Foggy S's. Jay can't make it happen, and once again Mike retakes the lead of this race. Jay a bit of a slide. Mike very wide onto the gravel there, managing to keep his momentum here coming down towards Melbourne. Incredible. How on earth did he hold on to that? Into Melbourne we go once again. It's still Mike ahead of Jay. And Jay is going to be absolutely cursing at this one. In the meantime, Cobb is looking on the back of Big Blue here into Melbourne. Is he going to send one up the inside? He's going to go for it here. Oh, what a move there from Cobb. And that is a move that he's going to be talking about all night long and probably all week long there. Superb overtake there. Saw his opportunity. Big Blue here trying to come back at him into the final corner. He's going to try and go around the outside here is Big Blue. Can he have the momentum here to keep himself there down the straight? He might do, you know. But Cobb there, I think, no, he's made that stick there as Cobb. Beautifully done there up into ninth place. Now Jay has got to win, and he's got to get the fastest lap as well. There is big pressure now on Jay. Who's got the fastest lap in this race? That's the question. Oh, it is Jay. It is Jay. At the moment, Jay has the fastest lap, so all he has to do is find a way through ahead of Mike. If Jay can get ahead of Mike, he's got second in the championship, and Cobb has got 2 seconds up the road to Revolt Detailer, so the question is, if he can't reel in Revolt Detailer before the end of this race, then Jay could have second in the championship here. But Jay has to get ahead of Mike as he's looking on the inside of Cobb. Oh, the sidewest side, he squeezes ahead here. And this is where the McGann's going to have the advantage down the straight. He should be able to squeeze ahead of him here into the Foggy S's, you would think. But Mike's managing to keep himself on the inside here, all the way down towards the chicane. Mike back down the inside once again. Jay still can't make this one happen. It's been a fantastic, resilient defence here from Mike. He's just been pushing it absolutely to its limits, getting the sort of grip out of that Astra that it just has no right. It has no right competing with that McGann, but he's managing to do it somehow. Cobb is second and a half behind Revolt Detailer at the moment, so it's looking like Cobb has got to hope that Mike can keep this one ahead of Jay here on this final lap of the race. Here we go then, final lap of the season here. Jay throwing the kitchen sink at Mike on board with our Season 10 champion here at the Touring Cars. Is he going to look up the inside into Red Gates? Has a little look. Oh, he's going to go for the dive. What a move there. And does he make it stick? That was a Max Verstappen move on Hamilton there. Sort of esque there as he makes that stick as well. Jay up into the lead here on the final lap of the race. Cobb will be able to see that on the timing board. He'll know perfectly well that he's now got to reel in Revolt Detailer on this final lap of the race. This is Jay being handed second in the championship once again, but can he hold it for the final lap of the race? Coming out of the old hairpin here. Half a lap left to go in this one. Has Jay just nicked second in the championship? Where is Cobb? He's 1.6 seconds behind Revolt Detail at the moment. But Potter Brown and John Boy are battling over P6 and 7. If these two knock each other off the road, it could give Cobb the position that he needs here. Revolt Detail are right with them at the moment, as we got the timings there on the screen. Didn't want that, but having said that, let's make sure that Jay's still got the fastest lap. He has. So Jay currently still with that extra, those 2 extra bonus points. Oh, this is incredible. As Revolt Detail are sending one on the inside of John Boy. Oh my goodness me. This is unbelievable. I tell you what, look at this. Cobb's got to move. He's got the run on Revolt Detailer here. Cobb looking up the inside into Melbourne Hairpin. This is unbelievable. This is for second in the championship. He's done it. Oh, Cobb's made the move. For the second to last corner, but can he hold it going into the final corner? Revolt Detail trying to come back at him. Oh, this is unbelievable. John Boy trying to defend the inside. Cobb around the outside. He's going to get this done. Mike takes the win. Jay second. Doris Steer third. So Mike actually nabbed Jay right at the end. So Cobb is going to come over the line to take second in the championship. A chaotic end to that race. What a finish to the season that was. So in the end, Cobb taking second in the championship. Mike taking the win. Actually got ahead of Jay on that final lap of the race. What a finish that was. Mike, Jay and Doris taking the podium places. So the top 3 in the championship were in the end. It was John Boy taking the championship, Cobb second, and Jay getting the bronze in the end. What a season. What a finish to that season. And our 3-time champion of the Touring Cars, Mike, taking that final win of the season in the Astra. So that bodes well for him. If he can sort of keep up that sort of form in the Astra next season, then he could be on to a winner. Jay getting the fastest lap of the race, getting those 2 extra bonus points. Jay picking up 32 points for that final race of the season. Cobb picking up 20, so yeah, Jay closed that gap to 6 points in the end, but Cobb managing to take P2 in the championship. But what a season, what a race. Thanks everybody once again, and that is your